Hi guys, it's a beautiful morning, mid-August. It's a lot cooler this week, so I'm doing a lot of outdoor projects. I've been spending a lot of time in the garden, and this is also a good time to repot some plants. And I'm going to show you what happened here. In the spring, I took my string of pearls and chopped it in half and just stuck the bottom part in soil and got rid of the scraggly top part, and it has flourished. I have had it outside, and I have mixed feelings about keeping it outside because sometimes they do so well in the summer and then you bring them in and they're shocked. But this one looked so bad, and I was restarting it, and this was the result. I wish I had shown you how I did it, but I have the opportunity to do it with my string of bananas, which is looking quite straggly. This one's been inside, and I plan on doing the same thing that I did with my string of pearls because it was very successful. As you can see, it's very full and plump all the way up to the soil, and some of these pearls are huge. Even some at the bottom here are just really big and plump. So that was a successful restart. And I'm going to show you how I do it on this string of bananas. Let me let you get in here and see how it's not doing so well. It is alive, it's growing, and there are green stems in here. However, there is a lot of brown leaves that have kind of died back. And also, if you take a look, the bananas are very, very skinny. So I think it's time that we restart it and get some new roots on here so that the plant can thrive more, can start thriving, because right now I think it's struggling quite a bit. If you can see, this is the before shot. Lots of little dieback leaves, little brown leaves everywhere, and it kind of looks like a mess, and they're just so thin. So it's time, guys, and I'm going to show you what I do. It's very, very easy, and I'm hoping to have the same success as my string of pearls. So there you go. Look at the size of some of these pearls. They're definitely on a good set of roots now. So I feel very good about that restart. So let's go ahead and see what we can do for this guy. Okay, so we're ready to do our repotting. Again, here is my sad string of bananas, looking very straggly. So it really, really needs a restart. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut it from its roots. Just going to cut straight across. And because it's so long, I think I'm going to cut it in half once I do that. Just because it's going to give me more stems and a fuller plant eventually. Once it plumps out again, it'll become a fuller plant, and again, I'm hoping for the same success that we had with the string of pearls. So let's give it a try, and I'm just going to cut it right across. I'm using clean scissors, and my scissors are always going through the dishwasher because I use them in the garden a lot. And there we go. So this is just some old spent soil and some scraggly roots here. So it's going to go in the compost pile and do some good there. And meanwhile, this part is going to become a beautiful new restarted plant. Now, one important thing to note is that you really want to keep the top and the bottom, keep track of it, which is the top and which is the bottom, because it's really important to how you plant it. Although you could even lay this across soil and it will grow as well. But I'm going to do my best to keep the top and bottom separated and distinct from one another. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it one more time, just right across here. I'm not worrying about nodes or anything. Just cutting it right there. And now I'm going to stick it in my soil. By the way, I'm using Miracle Grow Performance Organics, and it's got a bit of perlite in it. Ordinarily I would recommend putting more perlite in it, but I don't have that, and I'm not going to go to the store for it at this time. So I'll just keep that in mind as I do my waterings, just keeping in mind that it doesn't have as much perlite as I'd want. Also for rooting, it's really good to have a rich, nice mix like this as well. So I'm just going to pop those in. The stems are so small, there's no drying needed. You can let them dry if you want, just to be safe, but honestly, I didn't do any leaf removal, I didn't do any drying, none of that for my string of pearls, and look how well it came out. And I'm doing this in August, which gives it a couple months outside to really take root. And I'm gonna, this is the top part, gonna put that over here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put my more soil in the pot. This is how it looks. I've just pretty much laid it in there. And all of those leaves that will be under the soil will just break down and become food for the plant. And around those leaf nodes, we're going to have some nice rooting happening. So this really looks quite careless. I'm going to shorten this a bit to give it a better chance. We'll go ahead and just shorten that. So it's a very fast, carefree, maybe I shouldn't say careless, but a carefree way of restarting your hanging succulents. And, you know, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this. I'll give you an update, and I'll let you know if I have the same success as the string of pearls. But look at that, guys. It couldn't be easier. And I'm going to leave this soil dry. Now, there is a little bit of moisture in it already. It's just straight from the bag. It has a bit of moisture. But I'm not going to do any watering for 2 or 3 weeks. And the reason I'm not going to do that is, first of all, it is a tiny bit moist, so I'm not worried that it's completely dry. But these don't have any roots yet, so you don't want those stems to rot. You want them being in fairly dry soil to signal to the plant that it needs to send out roots. And I think that's really important when you're rooting succulent plants. House plants might be a little different. They might need some water to root. I usually put my house plants in a cup of water, but in this case, you don't want water until you see new growth and it starts to look like it's actually taken root. And I judge it by the new growth on there, or the leaves will start to plump up. You know, you can really tell once a plant has taken root. And look at that, guys. I mean, already it looks better. It's not rooted in yet, but it's a fuller, greener plant. And hopefully in a month or 2, we'll see some plumping out and some filling out. That's how it looks in the middle. So I hope you can see how I did that. I didn't fuss with it at all. There was no drying of the stems. I have dried them before, but like I said, I don't think it's necessary. If you're using dry soil, and it's such a small wound because it's such a thin stem. So that's it, guys. It's just packed in there with soil, and I will update you on that, and I feel much better about that. Sometimes a plant just needs to start over with new roots. And you don't want your plants to be devoid of water and nutrients because they have weak roots. And also the soil was very old and it needed a refresh, so we killed two birds with one stone by restarting this plant here. So thanks so much for being my plant friend and for tuning in. And comment down below and let me know if you've tried this method before, or if you prefer another method, let me know. But I will keep you updated, and let's hope we have the same success that we had with the string of pearls. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay well. Bye.